July 20th, 2020. Gallatin, Tennessee. 18-year-old Grant Solomon pulls into a parking lot to meet his father for baseball practice. Moments later, he's gone. Found pinned under his own truck with no witnesses. The only person there? His father. For years, Grant had begged for help, claiming abuse, fear, and secrets too dark to say out loud. His sister Gracie says their father was a monster. But the courts didn't listen. Was it really an accident, or something far worse? This is not fiction. This is a real story. Subscribe now to at MysteryPlaybacksSeries.com. Because one missing truth could change everything. July 20th, 2020. Gallatin, Tennessee. 8:43 a.m. The morning sun rises slowly over a quiet Tennessee town. Birds chirp. The sky is soft blue. A warm breeze cuts through a lonely parking lot at the Ward Performance Institute, a place where young athletes come to train. But this morning, something feels wrong. A black truck sits crooked near the edge of the lot. Its engine is still running. No one is in the driver's seat. On the ground, half hidden by the vehicle's shadow, is a boy. 18 years old. Blonde hair. No movement. His name is Grant Solomon. And this is where his life ends. 2002, Nashville, Tennessee. Once upon a time, the Solomons looked like the perfect family. Aaron Solomon, handsome, sharp, charming, was a popular news anchor on Nashville's WSMV Channel 4. He later became a financial advisor at Merrill Lynch and joined the board of a group that helped victims of child sexual abuse. His wife, Angie, was a gentle, strong woman, a pharmacist and loving mother. Together, they had two beautiful children. Grant, born in 2002, quiet, kind, athletic. Gracie, born 2 years later, bright, sweet, and strong. To the world, the Solomons were everything right. But behind the closed doors of their big house, everything was wrong. The truth about Aaron. To those who knew him from TV or business, Aaron was a man to admire. But to Angie, Grant, and Gracie, Aaron was something else entirely. Controlling. Manipulative. Violent. Gracie would later describe him in chilling detail. He was two people. The one everyone saw, and the one we lived with. At home, the yelling never stopped. Grant said Aaron would scream, curse, and threaten them for small things, dirty dishes, bad grades, talking back. He mocked Angie, told the kid she was crazy, and slowly began to separate them from her. In 2013, after years of abuse, Angie tried to get away. She filed for divorce after Aaron allegedly tried to strangle her. But Aaron claimed she was the problem, that she was unstable, dramatic, and unfit to raise their kids. What happened next stunned everyone. The court awarded full custody to Aaron. Angie was pushed out. She was labeled mentally unwell. Grant and Gracie were forced to live under their father's full control. From 2013 to 2018, the Solomon home turned into a prison. Grant's bedroom door had a lock on the outside. Gracie's door had a lock on the inside. Food was rationed. They were monitored, even in the bathroom. Every phone call, every word, every move, watched. Gracie says Aaron would give her drinks at night that made her groggy, enter her room while she slept, touch her, take photos, and record her without clothes, threaten her if she spoke out. She was just a child. She said she was abused hundreds of times. And no one, not the courts, not the police, stopped it. Summer 2018. It took everything they had. But in 2018, Grant and Gracie ran away. They showed up at their mother's house, frightened, crying, refusing to go back. Gracie was in the 6th grade. Her body was changing. Her understanding of what her father was doing to her was growing. She told her mom everything. And this time, Angie listened. Together, they tried to go back to court. Angie filed a lawsuit. But once again, it was dismissed. The system failed them. Scene: Grant's Burden 2018 to 2020. By the time Grant was 17, he was trying to keep everything together. He was smart, handsome, and a talented baseball pitcher. But behind the smile was pain. He told friends, "I can't sleep. I have to protect Gracie." He stayed awake at night. He tried to be strong. He documented everything. He kept screenshots, messages, video evidence. He planned to one day speak out, in court, or publicly, and expose the monster who raised him. And then? The day he died, July 20th, 2028, 8:30 a.m. That morning, Grant left home to meet his father at the Ward Performance Institute, a baseball training center in Gallatin. Aaron claimed Grant was going to practice pitching. But just minutes after arriving, Grant was dead. Aaron says Grant got out of his truck, which then rolled over him, pinning him to the ground. No cameras caught it. No one saw it happen. Number 911 call was made. Aaron used his work app to message a local officer. By the time responders arrived, Grant was gone. This is not fiction. Every detail in this story is part of a real case, one you can verify yourself. If real-life stories of injustice matter to you, subscribe now to at MysteryPlaybacksSeries.com. Because what happens next may be even harder to believe. First responders arrive at the scene. They find Grant's truck, engine off, door open. And beneath it, Grant Solomon's body. His legs are pinned under the front wheel, his torso twisted. There is no sign of a struggle, no visible defensive wounds. No one on site witnessed the incident. The only person present? His father, Aaron Solomon. And from the very beginning, nothing adds up. Aaron tells officers that Grant exited the truck, left it in neutral, was run over when the truck unexpectedly rolled, was alone in the lot when it happened. But when investigators look closer, the details seem strange. The lot is flat, nearly level. The truck is facing uphill. The driver's seat is adjusted forward, too far for Grant's 6 feet 4 inches frame, but perfect for Aaron. The gear shift isn't clearly in neutral. And no camera caught what really happened. Even more shocking? Aaron didn't call 911. He texted a local police officer through a private app, saying, "Grant had a terrible accident. Please hurry." By the time actual emergency services were called, precious time had passed. July 20th, 2020, 10:30 a.m. At the hospital, Angie Solomon is told the unthinkable. Her son is dead. No clear answers. No eyewitnesses. Just gone. She collapses in the hallway. She screams that she knew this would happen, that Aaron had threatened them for years. When she asks to see Grant's body, she's told she can't. When she asks about an autopsy, they say it's already done. When she asks for police reports, she gets silence. Gracie is 14. She's quiet. Broken. Her older brother was everything to her, her protector, her safe place, the one who listened when no one else did. Now he's gone. And something in her changes. She speaks out, to friends, to her mom, and eventually, to the world. She says plainly, "My dad killed my brother. I don't know how, but I know it." She talks about what happened in their house. The abuse. The terror. The dark routines. She says Grant knew too much, and Aaron was scared. Grant had kept everything. Before his death, he had taken photos of injuries, screenshots of texts, videos, handwritten notes. He kept them hidden. After his death, his mom and sister found them on his old phone and laptop. In one chilling message, Grant wrote, "If something happens to me, it's because of my dad." But no court reopened the case. No new investigation was launched. Everything stayed silent. By 2021, Angie has had enough. She starts sharing her story, piece by piece, through freedomforgracie.com, interviews, podcasts, and community forums. She pleads for people to reopen the investigation into Grant's death. Listen to Gracie's claims. Hold Aaron accountable for everything they endured. Some believe her. Some don't. But slowly, the story spreads. Aaron in the public eye. Aaron stays quiet. He never publicly denies the allegations. He moves on with his career. Some say he starts dating again. He posts about faith, peace, and family on social media. He appears unbothered. As if nothing happened. As if his only son didn't just die under suspicious circumstances, with him as the only witness. Public reaction grows. By 2022, the Solomon case has begun circulating on TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube. Strangers dig through court documents. Some start petitions. They post photos of the parking lot, analyze the angle of the truck, compare Aaron's account with what little evidence exists. Many are convinced. There's no way this was just an accident. But the police? The courts? Still say nothing. No arrest. No reinvestigation. No charges. This is not fiction. This story, and every detail in it, comes from real people, real evidence, and a case you can search yourself. What happened to Grant Solomon is not just a mystery. It may be one of the biggest failures of justice in recent history. Gracie speaks on camera. In a heartbreaking interview, Gracie looks directly into the lens. She's now 15. Her voice is shaking, but strong. My brother didn't deserve this. And I'm not going to let them forget what happened. She talks about the nightmares. The loneliness. The weight of survival. She says she's not scared anymore. She says she wants to live in the light, even if it means sharing her darkest memories with the world. As night falls in Nashville, the Solomon house stands quiet. The lights are off. The driveway is empty. But for the people who knew Grant, and for the mother and sister who still live with the pain, nothing is over. Because the questions haven't been answered. Why was there no autopsy report shared with the family? Why didn't Aaron call 911? How did the truck move, and why was the seat moved forward? Why is there still no investigation? And the most haunting question of all. If someone can hide something this dark, what else is still in the shadows? 2021 to 2022. By now, stories of Grant's mysterious death are circulating online, slowly going viral. TikTok creators are breaking down police photos. Podcasters are picking up the case. People are starting to ask real questions. But strangely, the mainstream media stays silent. No major network touches the story. Not CNN. Not ABC. Not even local Nashville stations. Why? Some point out that Aaron Solomon was once a respected TV anchor. Others note that he held influence, financial, social, and even legal connections, through Merrill Lynch and his non-profit ties. Gracie would later say, "It's like nobody wanted to touch him. Like he was too protected." 2022. One day, Gracie uploads a series of videos on TikTok. She doesn't flinch. Her voice is steady. She talks about the way Aaron locked Grant's door from the outside, the drinks he gave her at night, the camera in the bathroom, the way he would video her in the shower, how he kept complete control over their food, clothing, even their ability to speak. One video ends with her staring into the camera and whispering, "If anything happens to me, look at my dad." The internet explodes. Millions view the clip within days. Supporters flood the comments. But so do skeptics. Some accuse her of lying. Others say she's just traumatized. But no matter what, her voice is finally heard. Early 2023. Angie, now grieving a lost son and fighting for her daughter's safety, tries again to reopen the case. She reaches out to investigators, civil rights attorneys, news producers, local officials. She creates full timelines, recordings, archived court documents, safety concerns, and patterns of abuse. But again, her requests are dismissed. In private, some officials say, "It's just too messy. There's not enough hard evidence. We can't retry what the court already ruled." It feels like justice is slipping away again. The forgotten lawsuit. Few people know this. But in 2019, a year before Grant died, Angie filed a lawsuit against Aaron Solomon for child abuse, neglect, and endangerment. The evidence included Gracie's written testimony, Angie's own records, past emergency room visits, police notes, testimonies from therapists. But the case was dismissed. The reason? Lack of concrete physical evidence. And so the judge ruled in favor of Aaron again. Another chance lost. Another warning ignored. Why no autopsy? Many have asked. If Grant's death was so suspicious, why wasn't there a proper autopsy? Here's what we know. A report was done. But Angie was never given full access. The manner of death was listed as accidental. The injuries were said to match a vehicle impact. But no one could explain why Grant's phone and shoes were found yards away from the body. And why the truck appeared to have been parked, not rolling. Was it staged? Was the scene cleaned? We may never know. Because the official case? Closed. Let's ask the hard question. Could Aaron Solomon have used his influence to silence the truth? Here's what we know. He worked at Merrill Lynch, one of the largest investment firms in the world. He sat on the board of Our Kids Tennessee, a state-affiliated child safety nonprofit. He had close connections to local police, lawyers, and judges. He once appeared in TV interviews, corporate seminars, and local news segments. And most importantly, his reputation was clean, at least in public. Aaron was the kind of man people trusted. That trust may have helped him get away with everything. Gracie is now 17. She's older, wiser, and fully aware of the world around her. She says she'll never stop fighting. She says her brother's story deserves to be heard. She says she wants to make sure no other girl ends up trapped the way she was. She wants her voice, and Grant's voice, to break the silence. This is not fiction. Every name, every quote, and every claim in this story is part of a real case. You can search it yourself and decide what you believe. But know this, justice doesn't always come in a courtroom. The court may be done with the Solomon case. But the public? Far from it. Reddit threads break down the truck's angle. TikTokers simulate what neutral gear would do. Citizen detectives recreate the parking lot using drone images and blueprints. Podcasts launch multi-part investigations. The hashtags rise. #Justice for Grant. #Freedom for Gracie. #Investigate Aaron Solomon. The world is beginning to pay attention. And that, for the first time, brings a little light to the darkness. July 20th, 2023, Gallatin, Tennessee. 3 years. 3 years since Grant Solomon died under a truck in a near-empty parking lot. No one has been arrested. No charges filed. The case remains closed. But this year, a small group of people gather at the spot. Family. Friends. Strangers who saw the story online. They lay flowers where he fell. Gracie is there too, holding a photo of her brother. The group stands in silence. Then, Gracie speaks. He was more than a mystery. He was my brother. And we deserve answers. The power of the internet. What began as a whisper has become a movement. TikToks, Instagram Reels, long-form YouTube investigations, all dissecting the Solomon case. Clips of Gracie's testimony are seen by millions. Podcasts deep dive into every known document and interview. The story has even reached independent journalists and advocacy networks. They call for a reopening of the investigation, a federal review of child custody proceedings, and a re-examination of how family court fails abuse victims. Suddenly, what happened to the Solomons is no longer just their pain, it's everyone's warning. Let's pause. Let's look at the system. A mother reports abuse. A child begs not to return to their father. A family documents everything. And still, the court gives full custody to the alleged abuser. Then, a child dies. Under suspicious circumstances. And still, the case is closed. No autopsy provided. No forensic deep dive. No arrests. Just silence. How does that happen? How does every protection fail in one single family? And what does it say about the systems meant to protect us? Let's lay it out. 2013 to 2018, alleged abuse inside the home. 2018, Grant and Gracie flee to their mother's house. 2019, Angie files a lawsuit, dismissed. 2020, Grant dies under suspicious circumstances. 2021 to 2023, Gracie speaks publicly, no case reopened. 2023, 3 years pass, still no justice. It's not just tragic. It's haunting. It's infuriating. And it's real. In her latest video, Gracie stares into the lens one more time. She's almost 18 now. And this time, she isn't whispering. You may not believe me. But you can't ignore me anymore. What happened to my brother was not an accident. And what my father did to us for years, someone has to answer for that. She breathes deeply. We deserve to be heard. And if nobody will do it for us, we'll do it ourselves. The screen fades to black. Aaron still walks free. Still respected in some circles. Still quiet. Still unbothered. Some say he's faded into the background. Others say he still pulls strings. But one thing is clear, he has never answered publicly for what his daughter and late son have claimed. And unless the world continues to press, maybe he never will. It's nighttime in Gallatin, Tennessee. The parking lot where Grant died is empty again. A single street lamp flickers above the spot. The chalk outline is gone. The questions remain. And one line echoes through the quiet. If something happens to me, it's because of my dad. Then silence. This is not fiction. Every moment you've heard comes from a real family, from documents, interviews, and recordings you can search for yourself. This story isn't over. Not yet. Have you come across this story before? Do you think Grant's death was really an accident? What would you do if your child told you they weren't safe, and the court didn't listen? If real-life stories like this stay with you long after they end. Subscribe now to at MysteryPlaybacksSeries.com. Because every week, we uncover the truths buried under silence. Watch the next video on your screen, or explore our full playlist of stories that the world tried to forget. The next one might shake you even more.